So I've been noticing something strange for a while now. Conversations, they feel different, more shallow. There's also often a certain logic missing, as if thinking before speaking has become a rare commodity. And sometimes I wonder if thinking has become more difficult in general for many people. And when I look at the bigger picture of society, the following disturbing question arises. Are we, as a society, actually engineering our own decline? Because I find it quite remarkable that we have access to infinite knowledge these days, knowledge that's made available to us at the speed of a blink of an eye. And most of us, we have smartphones, internet, computers. We just type in what we want to know, and just like that, it's presented to us. And today, even we literally have more access to knowledge than ever before in human history. So how is it that true wisdom remains elusive? Because consuming is not an issue, but converting what we consume into real understanding is. So what happened to our society to get to this point? And for that, in order to find out, we have to take a look at that bigger picture. Because much has already been digitized. I know very few people who read the newspaper to stay informed about what's happening in the world. People now simply pick up their phones and with a single swipe see their newsfeed. People see each other much less often, as contact is often maintained via chat or social media. And I know this is convenient and it's efficient, but it also has its downsides, because since that digitization, I believe there have never been so many people with concentration problems as there are today. Attention spans, they are getting shorter and shorter. And critical thinking seems to be a huge challenge for many. Also, all the digital stuff, distinguishing between fake and real, simply impossible anymore. AI can already recreate and clone everything so realistically that most public sources can no longer be considered reliable. One person after another is being scammed right in front of their eyes, and this technology is only advancing faster and faster. Funny thing is, none of this is new. This has been discussed for a long time. Take, for example, Neil Postman, an American author and media theorist. He expressed his concerns about this decades ago. He had already mentioned that the way media would be presented would influence the way we think in terms of how we organize knowledge and how we organize our attention. And the way that's been done, for example, with televisions and with smartphones, has now led to a culture where information competes for amusement rather than understanding. Depth is replaced by constant simulation, and attention itself has become the product. And I wouldn't just call the consequences of this serious, but also especially concerning, disturbing even. I consider a person lost if they can no longer concentrate and are no longer capable of critical thinking. It even makes someone a slave to society, completely manipulable. Because the ability to think has diminished and technology is advancing fast, fake news is spread very quickly and is many times accepted as the truth. Lies and clickbait are often shocking, and therefore they get the attention, and attention equals currency. Before you know it, people stop seeking truth altogether and just chase whatever keeps them engaged, mistaking simulation for awareness. But there's even something much, much deeper going on here. A fundamental part of human nature that's being exploited. Because All this distraction is actually the perfect breeding ground for a very specific and, frankly, very dangerous type of human behavior to really take over. And to get what I mean, we can use a framework from an Italian historian named Carlo Cipolla. He called it the laws of stupidity. So what Cipolla did was basically break people down into 4 groups based on what their actions do to themselves and others. It's actually pretty simple when you see it, when you get it, An intelligent person does things that benefit both other people and themselves. A helpless person helps others, but ends up hurting themselves. A bandit, well, a bandit helps themselves by hurting other people, but a stupid person is someone whose action causes harm to others, but with absolutely no benefit to themselves. And this has nothing to do with IQ or education. It's all about the actions they take. Stupid people might even end up harming themselves in the process because their behavior is not only unpredictable, but also irrational. According to Cipolla, this makes the stupid person the most dangerous type of person out there, even more dangerous than a bandit. Because a bandit is kind of rational. He has motives that can be understood. But a stupid person, no clue. Their actions often make no sense at all. So there's no way to defend yourself against them. The following laws, let's call them laws, clarify Cipolla's way of thinking. And you have the first law of stupidity, and that law is that everyone always and inevitably underestimates the number of stupid individuals around. The second law of stupidity, the probability that a given person is stupid is independent of any other characteristic of that person. The third law of stupidity is a stupid person is one whose action causes harm to others or to a group of people while gaining no benefit himself and possibly even incurring losses. The fourth law of stupidity, non-stupid people always underestimate the damaging power of stupid individuals. And the last and fifth law of stupidity is a stupid person is the most dangerous type of person. So what happens when you combine the distraction we talked earlier about with this most dangerous type of person? It's a powerful and terrifying combination. A downward societal spiral as society pushes constant distraction, and because of that, people can't think critically anymore. Therefore, irrational people start to gain influence because a distracted population can't really see what's happening or fight back effectively. This, in turn, leads to bad decisions, which weaken society, which just make more room for, you guess it, more distraction, and the cycle just repeats. It's serious, but I still have to laugh a little bit about it, especially because if we even go further back in history, the ancient Romans already had a phrase for it: bread and circuses. Juvenal, a Roman poet, author of the Satires, you can look it up. It's a collection of satirical poems. He talked about how the leaders could keep the population quiet and happy with free food and big spectacular shows. Timeless trick, right? Distract people with entertainment so they don't notice their freedoms are slowly slipping away. The only difference today is that our circuses are digital. Crucial point, as this societal decline isn't always an accident, pretty convenient even for some people in power, because the chance for questioning authority or pushing for real change is significantly smaller when a population is distracted and divided, not thinking too hard. So yeah, What will you choose? So now you know all this. You might be laughing, or you might maybe you're crying, maybe feeling down. Whatever the case, problems can only be solved if we understand them in the first place. Only once you are aware of what's actually going on, you can do something about it. And as for technology, we have to go along with it. If not, you will have to claim a piece of land in the forest somewhere and try to coexist with a few tribes still living free from society. I think the chances of that happening are very slim to none. So, yeah, resisting technology thus is pointless. What you can do is choose how you use it and stay curious. Keep questioning things. Keep thinking about everything and anything. Don't believe everything presented to you. Start writing and contemplating instead of endlessly scrolling and consuming. Direct your attention to one thing at a time. When you engage in a conversation, focus and listen. Think before you respond. These are all small things that you, as an individual, have control over and can make a choice in. If you decide to keep living on autopilot, a greater danger needs to be faced. Not that society is getting dumber, but you just accept it. That you see it all happen and you think, well, that's just the way things are. When you give up on your own ability to think and you just let the mediocrity become your new normal, it would just be too tragic. Throughout all of history, wisdom has never been a mainstream thing. It's always been preserved by the few brave ones who thought differently. Socrates was condemned because he challenged society, he questioned authority, he questioned tradition and popular beliefs. Galileo got into conflict with the Roman Catholic Church because his observations supported the heliocentric worldview, that the Earth revolves around the sun, which conflicted with church doctrine. Time and time again, the masses have preferred comfortable lies over the truth. Wisdom has always belonged to the courageous few who dare to stand apart from the crowd. So it all boils down to the decline we've been talking about is not inevitable, but a choice we all make collectively every single day. But just like decline is a choice, so is renewal. And that brings us to the final question, the one that only you can answer. Are you actively strengthening your mind, or are you passively letting it be weakened by the current of distraction? Your answer to that question determines everything. Are you a part of the problem or the solution?